Your land may be seized to make room for solar panels, whether you like it or not. This is happening in the UK right now, which is run by a conservative government. And if you think it can't happen here, you're freaking nuts. You're nuts. This is the future, my friends. And this is why I tell you, if you're on the right, we used to be solely, if you are for any kind of gun control, you need to go pound sand. Because that meant you could be easily convinced that gun control works. If you're on the right and you're for anyone who's a proponent of green energy, you need to freaking go pound sand too. Because green energy, unless it's nuclear, but green energy via solar and wind is a complete scam. I'm telling you, it's no different than affordable housing by being in favor of Fannie Mae. It's no different than affordable banking by being in favor of, what the freaking hell was that guy's name? Hank Paulson and stuff under George W. Bush. So the right does it's okay. No. All you're doing is you're setting the path for this kind of crap. So let's read this from What's Up With That, of course, because these guys, when it comes to anything climate change, energy, this is where you need to be. You need to check this daily. So we got the Sunica solar farm. And this is from the Telegraph. Land may be seized to make way for solar farms in a net zero drive. Homeowners and farmers are being threatened with having their land confiscated to make way for solar farms to meet net zero target. Energy firm Sunica has submitted plans to build a 2,792 acre solar farm. 2,792 acre solar farm and energy storage infrastructure in Suffolk and Cambridgeshire borders. You know who these people are, right? They're going to be blue collar people who don't have the votes, who don't have the sway of the rich hipsters who live in London. You can see this a mile away, dude. And Boris Johnson, just what a freaking clown. If the planning inspectorate recommends to ministers that the plan should be given the go-ahead, it will be the largest solar farm built in the UK, providing for 100,000 homes. Yeah, it's providing heat? No. But MPs and residents living in many of the small villages have decried proposals to use compulsory purchase orders for land on which it needs to access. This would include significant sections of land under which to lay electricity cables connecting the solar panels to the battery storage units. It would also see the compulsory purchase of land to create wider roads and access points to allow construction of the project. The company stated it requires powers of compulsory acquisition to ensure the scheme can be built. Yeah, so let's just say, what is 2,792 acres? So remember, an acre is 44,000 square feet. Just keep that in mind. So we go down here, and let's see. We had, right, look at that. That is ugly. I mean, this is agriculture, man. It's hard to comprehend the size when expressed in acres, but 1 acre is 1/640th square mile. Therefore, Sunica will be over 4 square miles. That does not look pretty. That looks freaking evil, man. Whereas, you know what you could do? Just do nuclear, and you'll have it all without the carbon. It's insane without this monstrosity. All right, we saw locals will be squeezed. Oh, look at Matt Hancock, freaking clown, the former health secretary. He's a clown too. So we're going to be squeezed. It's wrong by attempting to force through unpopular demands. They're damaging the case for renewables. Because remember, Matt Hancock was Boris Johnson's right-hand man when it came to the pandemic, and he's a big proponent of green. But see what happens here? You get the camel's nose in, and they go crushing through everything. Now Matt Hancock's like, look. This is going to damage the case for delivering the renewables we need. You're going too far. It freaking fools Matt Hancock. Is it just, why do people vote for people like this? I support solar developments where locally we're in the right place. The right place what, Matt? What's the right place? Not my community. NIMBY. Not my backyard. Those guys over there. Put it in the labor side. But don't put it in my side because, no, I got to represent my constituents. As long as it's over there, it's okay. More than a dozen land and property owners are thought to be holding out against Sunica in an attempt to acquire an interest in their land in order to lay cables or gain or improve access. In all these cases, Sunica says no progress is being made and they might need to move to compulsory purchase. Richard Took, that's funny, isn't that Took from Lord of the Rings? A landowner who is refusing to allow 800 acres of his land stated in a consultation document, our withdrawal from the scheme does not prevent Sunica from including our land under submission. Compulsory. We have, however, written the inspectorate formally telling them that Sunica are including our land without permission, what I'm saying. But local views are squeezed out. The campaign to protect rural England, which supports solar fields and brownfield sites. So you can't support it. This is the problem. Once you support it, you are doomed. Wind and Maine, doomed. Because the freaking idiots who run the show are all in charge. This is the 2030 agenda, man. The World Economic Forum. You own nothing and are happy. How do you not see this? It's worrying that the applicant is also processing to apply for compulsory purchase orders when it can be reached a negotiated settlement with affected landowners. Critics have decried the size of the solar farm on what is open agricultural land and the potential danger of the large lithium-ion batteries needed to store the electricity. Mr. Hancock clown, even the most ardent supporter of renewable energy, which is me, I'm a supporter. It's like saying it's the same thing. I'm not racist. Most of my friends are black. That's the same thing here. I'm a supporter, but this putting a huge battery farm right next to villages is a bad idea. Those behind the proposal have completely failed to bring the community with them. South Korea saw 23 battery farm fires in just 2 years, and a recent battery fire in Illinois burned for 3 days, with thousands of residents evacuated. In Merseyside, one of 3 battery cabins on site caught fire and exploded in 2020, and nearby residents were ordered to stay indoors. Risk of explosion and carbon and toxic gas. Yeah, the solar farm will be 500 megawatts. I don't know if that's capacity, nameplate capacity, I imagine it is. So it's 500, they're not getting 500 megawatts. I'm just telling you. But on average, we're right here. We'll be 500, right here. But on average, we'll only operate about 60 megawatts. In other words, it is minuscule in energy terms, despite its industrial strength, the industrial scale footprint of, we already said, 4 square miles or 2,115 football pitches, I think, of soccer fields. For instance, you would need, for instance, 33 of those monstrosities provide the same amount of power as a 2 gigawatt gas power station, such as Carrington, which you would still need to provide backup because solar can't provide backup and the batteries aren't there to do it, just not. It's hard to comprehend the size when expressed in acres, but look at that, man. That's. Let me just look at that. It's not green. How can you say it's green? Therefore, in construction alone, it will take 3 years, will be massively disruptive to locals and, of course, the animals that live there. And as the article points out, battery storage situated just a mile from one of the villages is an accident waiting to happen. There is something drastically wrong with our planning system if industrial developments like Sunica can take place in the middle of pristine countryside and the locals have no say. Just like the wind farms up in Maine. I'll see some of the comments. Yeah, just think how many enslaved Uyghurs will be out of work if this solar scheme is thwarted. Yeah, right. Just think of all the electronic devices in your home which have minerals mined by slaves. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we claim to be virtue signaling saving the planet. Does the extreme inefficiency of these things around 12% in the UK climate not bother you on the subsidies they will farm 100%? It's just a get-rich scheme for the freaking politicians. Matt Hancock, I guarantee, would get rich off it, but he's since lost his bluster because of he violated his own COVID restrictions. The whole thing, man. Yeah, whose dumb idea is net zero? World Economic Forum, man. World Economic Forum. They should just suspend solar panels 10 meters above all roadways in all cities. If solar panels are the way to go, Charles should demonstrate his total belief in them and empower all royal estates with panels from fence line to fence line. 100%. I mean, look, if you're going to have bridges, might as well put solar panels on them. And I mean, literally, say, here's roadway, we're going to put solar panels above it. There you go. The problem solved. I mean, it's freaking idiotic, but I mean, hell, what better than getting pristine agriculture countryside? It's coming, dude. It's coming. Just be advised. You got to get out of the blue states because they're going to take your land. I will see you.